Fashion Insider friends, what is up? This is the Fashion Crimes podcast where I cover all things fashion, style, shopping, style inspiration, and interview incredible small business owners who are changing the fashion industry for the better. Yes, I'm the best friend you never knew you needed and the poster child for fashion over 40, and I mean way after 40. Say it with me, fashion and style are your friends, not your enemies. I'm Holly Cates, your favorite personal stylist, and let's keep it real, the only Holly you need to know. Turn it up, because I got a lot to say, and I am super stoked you're here. It's your favorite day of the week, fashion besties. It's the Fashion Crimes Podcast Friday, and I am so happy that you've joined us today. Check it out. This episode is not only going to light a fire under your ass to get you start cleaning out your closet, but it's also going to change how you get dressed every day in life. Every day. And that's pretty serious, as this is something that you do every day. You do get dressed. If you are having closet organizational issues, or if you have too much stuff, or if you don't have enough stuff, then this episode is going to help you. And more importantly, help you help someone else. Not everyone has the luxury of having the space they need to store their clothing, which, of course, can be annoying. However, you have to use the space that you have to the best of your ability. So, indeed, let's make the best of it. I'll give you some storage solutions and easy ways to purge your old stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. The key is just to start. It's just like going to the gym. Driving there is half the battle. You just have to drive there, and then you go in. Once you start, you're not going to be able to stop. I'm telling you, it's addicting. And let's just say you do clean out your closet yourself. You are going to be so worried about keeping it that way, you're not going to want to mess it up. You're going to be so overly neurotic about it. That's the beauty of the closet clean out. The results are everlasting. It's the gift that just keeps on giving. If you don't believe me, just try it. Just a rando PSA. Cleaning out your closet is not scary, okay? It's not. This is a safe space, and you're safe with me. Really. This is a very vulnerable subject, in all honesty, but you can do it. It just brings out a lot of emotions. This can be life-changing when and if you put in the work. That's when and if. You're going to be so happy when you listen to these steps, as this is part of your key to style freedom. And when I say style freedom, this really means it's going to be so much easier for you to get dressed, because that really is the goal here. So that's what we're discussing today, the hot topic that most people don't know that's blocking their style and holding them back. But before we get to that, I really hope you listen to episode 213, which was last week's episode, September New York Fashion Week recap, the fall trends that you need to know about. So many fall trends, so many that I didn't even mention. I just gave you some, so little time. And I gave you the trends straight from the runway that were my favorites. So you'll also be seeing these in the store if you haven't already. I don't want you to miss a single episode, because these are the things you need to know about and keep up to evolve your style, because that's what we do here on the Fashion Crimes Podcast. We keep you updated and better looking than all your friends. And you'll stay in the know, so you know what's going on in the world, fashionably speaking. And if you know someone who needs fashion info, all you have to do is go to the fashioncrimespodcast.com website. Drop your name into the pop-up box if you haven't already, or drop someone else's name in there, and you will both get name and email, and all of you will get this fashion content delivered straight to your inbox every single week. Best news you've heard all day, I'm sure, because who has time to research and figure all this out? No one. Let me do it for you. What's interesting is that a lot of times when people tell me they are unsatisfied with their wardrobes, it's usually not because they can't put an outfit together. It's because they don't know what they have already due to their overcompensation of clothing. And why don't they know what they have? because they have trouble organizing items due to lack of space, time, and motivation, which is certainly understandable. Who wants to clean out their closet? Nobody. Lucky for you, it's my favorite thing to do in the entire world. That's why I love helping people do it on their own. And no, I don't do kitchens and I don't do garages. Okay. I've had people ask me that before. Learning how to keep your closet organized and functional really is just a life skill that most people aren't that familiar with. They try to get by, but make excuses of why they can't find anything to wear and why they need more clothing. It's easy to clean out your closet, but if you don't figure out where your mistakes are, then you're going to go right back to your old habits. I want you to understand where the disconnect is first, then we can correct it. So just know this. Most people that I work with, this is their number one problem. Again, not that they can't put an effort together, but they have a closet shit show, okay? Once you know what your triggers are and why you're keeping your closet in chaos, either consciously, some people do it unconsciously, this is the first step to getting out of the closet shit show, okay? It's very easy to collect over the years, especially if you have a rainbow of sizes and body issues, and purging makes you feel very uncomfortable, which it makes anyone feel uncomfortable. Let's be honest, myself included. It's so easy not to realize how much you're collecting until you try to go through your stuff after you've pumped yourself up to do it. Then it's too overwhelming. And it happens to everybody. Or you look in your closet and nothing excites you. So maybe you panic shop, go out and buy something new. Okay, that puts a Band-Aid on your style issue for that particular day. But then you run into the same problem multiple times. Each time you have to get dressed, be social, and see people. Or you have the opposite problem. You don't get anything new and you just put on the same thing that you feel comfortable in and you look the same every fucking time you go out. Okay, which means you're stuck in a style rut, which is a fashion crime. Which honestly is very deflating because you've worn the same thing or the same type of look over and over and over again for years. If any of these reasons sound familiar to you, then you're not alone. Most people feel the way that you do. The point is, if you're ready to start, then you've come to the right place. But I will say this, starting small is the key so you don't have to give up halfway through the process. Really, it's very parallel to like cutting and eliminating things out of your diet. You can't go cold turkey, jump in both feet, and eat lettuce every day. You have to start small and eliminate one clothing category at a time. Here's the good news, though. If this has been something that has been hanging over your head that you have been wanting to do and you don't know where to start, you're in luck, and I'm going to do it with you and take this as a sign from God, Allah, Jesus, the Quran, the universe. It's time. The first thing that we're going to discuss in detail so you understand what I'm talking about is closet disorganization. Believe it or not, disorganization is like the first domino in line to fall when wanting a chaos-free closet, okay? Once you've lived with the closet chaos, it just seems normal and not that big of a deal. And you might not realize it's as bad as you think it is. However, if you have clothes from 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, you already know that those items are in your way and taking up valuable space that you need for newer items that can serve you better. Disclaimer to those who are super anal and neat, okay? Just because you have an organized closet doesn't mean you don't need to get rid of anything. That does not exempt you from this process. It's just going to take you less time since you're already organized. So that's a good thing. In reality, how long is it taking you to find something to wear? Is it taking you too long? Then that's your first red flag that it's time to purge and time to organize. And you'd be surprised how many people think they are organized, but they're not, or they have organized crap. If your clothes are organized yet outdated, then it's time to really evaluate what you have, don't wear, and reorganize. Think of it this way. Clothes are energy. Clothes are supposed to serve you. They have to present themselves to you in a way that makes sense to your eye and your brain. If they aren't hanging in a way where you can recognize what's what, then you aren't going to take the time to figure out what is what. You're just going to let it hang there for years. And that is the ultimate fashion crime. Sometimes, and a lot of times, people do this with new items with the tags still attached, never worn. That is a fashion crime. So why do people do this? What is the root of this? It can be because you forgot that you bought it and it's with a bunch of other shit that you don't wear, probably. Or again, the panic shopping. And then you get it home and then you're like, I'm not quite sure. I bought it on a whim. I'll wear it later. And then it just hangs there. Does this sound like someone you know? If I'm not talking about you, I'm definitely talking about somebody you know. And before you start pointing fingers, everybody else as your brother, cousin, sister, best friend, husband's cousin, look at your closet. That's all I'm saying. The solution to getting organized is hanging like with like. All the sleeveless tops, the long sleeve tops, the sweatshirts, sweaters, slacks, jeans, dresses, jackets, etc. Everything should be hung together by each category. Yes, the categories can run together, but when you have all of your clothing mixed up, it's too hard to find anything. Yes, you can organize your clothes by color. Sure. I don't personally do that. We've talked about that before, but I know people that like to do that, but you have to organize them by style and category first. So if you take all of your long sleeve tops and you want to organize them by color, go for it. That's not a big deal, but you don't have to do it that way. It just has to be by style. Okay. And that's a non-negotiable, by the way. The first thing you need to do is change all of your hangers to velvet slimline hangers. If you have plastic, wire, or plastic tube hangers, this is your first issue. No matter what you do or how you hang your clothes, when you use these types of hangers, they take up the maximum amount of space. When you change things over to velvet hangers, you will not only save room, but your space will look so much more organized, clean, and better. If you do nothing else, if you throw nothing away, just doing that alone is going to be a game changer. And you're already going to make space look so much better, calmer, neater, and more organized, because that's really the goal here. Now that we know the space needs to be organized, how can we make sure it stays that way with clean clothing coming in and hung in its respective places? Let's talk about why that doesn't happen. Why do people have I like to call it a closet shit show or closet chaos? Another reason is inconsistent laundry practices, which is probably my biggest pet peeve and fashion crime. Out of every fashion crime I've talked about, this is one of my top 3. If there isn't a solid plan on who executes the laundry in your home, this is something that can and will give you inconsistent laundry practices and for sure, closet chaos. Who is doing the laundry? I have never in my life would believe that this was a problem until I saw it over and over again in different people's homes. If the laundry isn't being completed, folded, hung, and put away, how are you supposed to have all of your clothes to choose from? And if you aren't putting your things away, how are they supposed to serve you? Are you supposed to live out of laundry baskets? No, you're not. Are you supposed to wait for somebody else to do it? No, you're not. You must make sure that your clothing gets washed, cleaned, and returned, keyword being returned, so it can serve you again and again. You would be shocked, dead shocked, fall out of your chair, your mama's face, shocked on how many people I have met and seen that cannot get their act together when it comes to doing their laundry. I am not saying I am the laundry queen and it is a smooth run ship in my house, but it's pretty close. Okay. I know where my stuff is and I put it away. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it. And it doesn't take that long. So here's the solution to inconsistent laundry practices. You get a laundry plan and you stick to it. Sometimes people have asked me this too. Examples of what needs to be washed: towels, workout clothes, pajamas, socks, underwear, and what needs to be dry cleaned: dresses, button-down shirts, slacks, jackets, anything that is really, really high-end clothing needs to be dry cleaned, okay? Even if you have something that can be washed, for example, if you have like a cotton dress, that can go to the cleaners too, because then it can be pressed. So you might want to take advantage of that instead of washing every single thing you own. Utilize your cleaners and keep your clothes in a ready to wear state so you can grab and go. And here's a hot tip. Hot tip. When you get your items back from the cleaners, remove the dry cleaning tags and the plastic poly bags and the wire hangers and put it on a velvet slimline hanger. Now, that is a lot to ask, but I don't care. You can do it. I do it for me. I do it for Jonathan, and it is a game changer. No need to keep the plastic on your clothing. It doesn't do anything. This is not the 1800s. We don't have moths in our home eating our wool sweaters. We don't need a cedar chest. You don't need the plastic on your clothes or your jackets or your furs, anything like that, okay? It can sit there for a couple days, let's just be honest, but then take it off, okay? That is another really big fashion crime, is leaving your clothes unattended after they come back from the cleaners. Fashion crime. And speaking of the dry cleaners, if you are interested in learning about how to take care of said wardrobe, please go back and listen to episode 104, Best Care and Maintenance Practices of Your Wardrobe. This is something that you probably need to know if you're doing it correctly. Okay, so if you haven't listened to that episode, please go back and do so after finished with this one. You won't be sorry, okay? Take care of your clothes and they will take care of you. This is another reason why people have closet chaos, is over shopping. This, again, is another fashion crime. I've learned from being a personal stylist that there are two types of people in this world. People who love to shop, which gives them a quote unquote shopper's high, which might or might not include myself. I can't confirm or deny. Or people who hate to shop, of course, and those who don't overshop. Those people, they have a chip on their shoulder. Nothing fits. They hate to shop. They don't enjoy spending money on themselves. It's stupid. My husband says I look good. You try to buy clothes on the cheap. You go to big box stores looking for sales. And if you ever do shop, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, just know, because not shopping is the opposite of over shopping, that is still a fashion crime. Did you know that? So we have the over shoppers, fashion crime, and I like to call them the under shoppers, which is another fashion crime. In this scenario, we're discussing the over shoppers, okay? Does this sound like you or someone you know? Because the first step is awareness. You are constantly buying more instead of trying to find what you need and what you already have, and or you think you're getting a deal on sale items that you don't need, so you overshop. Number two, you're trying to fill a void. Whatever the hole is, you're filling it with the thrill of buying new stuff. It's an addiction, just like food, alcohol, or sex, or gambling. It's just a different poison. It is easier to buy something new now because you don't have to deal with the bigger problem you're avoiding, which could be overspending or just trying to find validation from an outside source when shopping. The elephant in the room is difficult to address. Your stuff is in disarray and your closet is crazy, and you would die if someone knew how much stuff you really had. It could be something as small as a pair of earrings. If you can't find them, you'll just get more. This is a habit that can really hold you back when evolving your style, because you can't get ahead if you keep buying the same shit over and over again. It's a vicious cycle that most people go through life dealing with. I shop probably more than the average person. However, I have to keep my wardrobe rotating more than most because of what I do. I'm not an over shopper. Like, I don't shop all the time, but I do shop certain times a year. So here's the solution to over shopping. Here's a thought: organizing your stuff. It's the first step in training your brain that you don't need more. Okay. That's a hot tip. hot tip. I'm going to say it again. Organizing your stuff is the first step in training your brain that you don't need more. I sell, recycle, or consign when I can. I don't do it all the time, but I like to when I can. And I would like to encourage you to do the same. For example, sometimes if I need a bag for a special occasion, I will borrow something for the night from a friend instead of buying something new. Shout out to Madison and Fifth in Savannah, Georgia, because I'll just tell her to send me a bag and I can borrow it or something she already has, or I might buy it, which is what I did last time. But anyway, that's besides the point. If you get rid of one thing, you can feel better about replacing it if you get a better deal by buying vintage or secondhand. And it's obviously a more sustainable way to shop. Understanding that this might not happen every time you shop, but all you can do is try. So I was speaking to my niece who lives in New York, and I was telling her to beef up her earring game. And she was like, "You're so right." And I said, just go on Poshmark and buy 10 pair of earrings, because that way they're going to be a lot less expensive and then your money will go further. So now we know the reasons why our closet does need help in the worst way and why it's holding you back in your style evolution. We've identified the reasons. Now let's talk about the solutions. And sidebar, if you have never, ever in your life cleaned out your closet, you're way overdue. And if you have done this before successfully, then you're already ahead of everyone else. So good on you for that. Number one is the purge. Now you've got your mind right. You've recognized you need to do this. The purge. Everything comes out of your closet and your drawers. I just throw everything on the bed. Everything. And I mean everything. Socks, underwear, pajamas, everything. Whatever you keep, if it's hanging, it needs to go on a new velvet slimline hanger. And if it's from your drawers, it gets refolded and put in the keep pile. Whatever you give away goes in lawn-sized garbage bags or plastic shoppers with handles. The bags you have to give away will then go into your car as you fill them to donate. Fashion crime. Do not, I repeat, do not leave the bags sitting around your house for days, because you will be tempted to go back through them. Trust and believe it's happened before. After you purge, the second step is to donate. When choosing where to donate your items, consider this. People who are coming back into the workforce after jail time, homelessness or poverty, battered women's shelters, local churches, or religious programs that provide support for refugees just arriving into this country, or people in need with special circumstances. A list of places that I recommend for you to donate, of course, will be in the show notes. If you have bras, socks, underwear, pantyhose, tights, hosiery, or pajamas, this is the number one requested item from the homeless shelters. Before you throw these things away, please, please, please know that somebody else could really benefit. As long as it's clean and in good condition, someone else would be thrilled to receive items like these, even if it's only to get them through to the next day. Some people leave in the middle of the night and they can only take what they can grab with them. So it's important to know what others can really benefit from your unwanted garments and everyday items that we take for granted every day. I know it sounds gross to give somebody else your underwear, but if it's clean and in good condition, believe me, it's okay. Fashion crime alert. Fashion crime. Giving a bag full of your stuff to someone who did not ask for it because you think you are doing them a favor. In the words of Marie Kondo, other people don't want your stuff, not your cousin, your daughter, your neighbor. No one wants your unwanted stuff that you don't want to give to charity. You aren't saving them money. You aren't doing them a favor. And your style is not what their style is. You're actually unloading your guilt of the things that you didn't want to wear that you're now donating onto somebody else's doorstep. And you're blocking their energy by passing stuff onto them. Unless you have items that they specifically ask for, you are doing them a disservice. Also, if you are on the other side and you accept a bag full of shit from someone else that you don't even know what's in it, you're blocking your own energy. You are accepting things that you don't need that will sit around in your closet until you dump them onto somebody else. Break the chain. Be the change. I don't care if you think it's going to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't care. It's about you, and you do not let your mom or somebody else give you a bunch of stuff that you didn't ask for. Be the change. Most people say, oh, I bet my daughter would love this. This would help save her money. She needs work clothes. No, it won't, especially if you don't know someone else's style, which, let's just be honest, you probably don't. Don't do it. The only exception to this rule, and the only exception, is maternity clothes and baby stuff. You will never, ever hear me say, don't give baby or kids clothes to others, because this is the only time when this specific rule, a bag of crap on someone else's doorstep, does not apply. Okay. I'm only speaking to adults giving other adults their clothes along with their terrible, terrible taste. Just saying. Step 3, this is when you can throw away. Anything that you throw away should be damaged, stained, ripped, torn, or something that's unwearable. That's it. If it's unwearable, it should go in the trash. Sidebar, if you have unwanted sheets and towels, you can make rags out of them for cleaning, or please give those items to animal shelters. If your kids graduate from college and you don't know what to do with their bedding, please donate it. They love getting those donations for animals to lay on. Step 4, organize your drawers with only the things that have made the keep list. You have to put your clothes back into your drawers in a way that makes sense to you. Just like hanging your clothes, keep like with like. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. I like to keep bathing suits and underwear together, socks, sports bras, and pajamas together. Workout pants with workout shirts together, sweaters and sweatshirts in one. That's just what I do. You don't have to do it that way, but try to get as much in one drawer as you can without overstuffing it. The order of where you put things, like top drawer, middle drawer, that's irrelevant. It's however you want to do it. Step 5, and this is a very big step, get your shoes off the floor. Now, if you have shoe overflow, I understand, meaning if you run out of shelf space. However, here is the fashion crime. Do not, and I repeat, please do not keep your shoes in shoe boxes. It doesn't look neater, and it doesn't save space. It actually takes up more room than you having them out. Do yourself a favor, get rid of the boxes and put your shoes out so you can see what you have. I don't care if you have hundreds of pairs of shoes, take them out of the boxes and recycle them, or you can actually donate them to a preschool or elementary school and they will use them for art projects. Isn't that nice? I had someone do that and it worked out beautifully, and they were so thrilled to get all those boxes. Get over the door shoe bags. I don't care. Shoe racks from any big box store, wood, metal, particle board. I don't care. You'll thank me later. Now your space looks beautiful. Can you keep it that way? Why don't you send me some pics of befores and afters of your closet after you clean it, and I'll give you a shout out on the next episode. And another incentive for you, whoever has the most garbage bags full of stuff to give away, send me a picture and a description of what you're giving away and the number of bags you're donating and the name of the charity you're donating to, and you can win an exclusive interview with me live on the show to tell everyone about your closet clean out experience. How's that for a prize? I would love to interview you if you do this and do it right. Please email all entries to holly@fashioncrimespodcast.com, and you could be my next guest. I am so nice. I am alarmingly nice. So nice. Can't wait to see all of your beautiful closets, and I'm so excited. I hope you learned a thing or two today about why your closet is disorganized and your favorite solution on how your items will be organized. Set an intention and make it happen. I support you. I promise you, you will love getting dressed in the morning if you follow these tips. Any additional questions, please email me at holly@fashioncrimespodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and for the love of all that is holy, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, go to the Fashion Crimes Podcast website. Please drop your name into the email pop-up box or someone else's name and get all of this free fashion content delivered straight to your inbox every single week. My name is Holly Katz, the hostess with the mostest, and as always, the only Holly you need to know. Thank you so much for listening to this closet clean out episode number 2. I will be waiting to hear about your progress. See you next week. Bye.